Good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everybody's well. My regards. I am on the road, about to move off. But if you happen to come across the video, please do me the usual favor and share. I am just going to shoot this to my pages. And once I've shot it to my pages, I will not be able to do much because it's time to go. Not want to install anything. Get rid of yourself from here and let's go. Where can I share it to? I can share it to two groups. Good morning, Adriana Disha. Good morning, my brother. I hope you are well. My regards. I am just going through the motions of sharing this to one or two places that I do know are safe, and I do know people will not give me stress because they appreciate what I do. So that's what I'm doing, and then we will hit the road in exactly 2 minutes. Okay. All right. Morning, those of you on my watch party, good morning. I hope you are well. Morning, those of you who joined live on this page, I trust you are well. Pastor P, good morning, sis. It's good to see you. It's always great to see you. So, sis, I am actually talking about something which is very important because it's something a lot of us have misunderstood. We've always been looking for a savior, looking for somebody to come and change things for us. Heading out. So bear with me a little bit. Let me reverse out. Successfully. We hit the road and then we talk. Good day, big sis. I hope you are well. As for me, it's good dawn. Good very early in the morning. And by various circumstances, back behind the huge car again. Anna is back to petrol guzzling. But that's a story for another day. You know, I was actually thinking about being back to the petrol guzzling, and I realized I am very lucky to be able to guzzle petrol, to have that option to run with. So no complaints. Let's go. Today, what I want to talk about is one aspect of change management that a lot of us misunderstand. A lot of us. And it's not something which started today. It's something we started ages in our community. In our community, things have always been that there's always a knowledgeable other. It's the chief you go to consult, or it's the juju man you go to consult. Recently, we don't consult any of those things, but we consult the priest. We consult because we always think that there is a more knowledgeable other. Since we became aware of personal tutoring, personal coaching, mentoring, people have started going round. So there are people who go around and listen to all the major speakers. They will spend a lot of time listening to these major speakers, which is great. But the one ingredient which is missing is using that information from those personal speakers, great speakers, to actually change things for yourself. There is nobody who is magical enough to be able to change your mindset for you. They might give you information to convince you to change your own mindset. They might actually give you information to teach you how to change your own mindset. But that final job of actually changing that mindset rests with you. So I want to talk to you today about changing your own mindset. One of the first things you need to do in any change process is to realize that that change is necessary. To know the reasons why you have to change. Morning. Ajwa, good morning. It's been ages. Good morning. Those of you on the watch party on my page. I am hoping that if I do this in English, I'm getting a lot of English, please, English. So if I do these ones, because these are not even community specific, these are general ones. If I do the general ones in English in the mornings, then in the afternoons we have action work. And the actual proper messages, I will take my time, structure those, and we will have Eric, good morning everybody. Good morning. It's good to see you. Thanks for joining. Oh, and thanks for sharing. Thank you so much. Yeah, I couldn't share any further what I did. You are on my 2 pages, and that's about it. I couldn't even shoot you to my other pages. But let's go. So, to change your mindset, one of the first things you need to know, you need a realization that your mindset requires change. Usually that realization comes from either speaking to somebody or an event which highlights deficits in your behavior, your understanding, and your mindset. So for some of us, that knowledge might be that you deal with a person, you think you love that person, you want to have a long-standing relationship with that person, but there are certain things about your personality which so aggravates the person that in the end the person decides to remove themselves. When a change in relationship status occurs, one of the things smart people do will be to go back, think. Oh, it rained last night, that's why. Go back, think, identify what caused the breakdown, what caused the change of mind. Has that got something to do with your attitude? Has that got something to do with the way you believe, the way you do things? And if those beliefs and the way you do things are beginning to cost you relationships, then you might elect to look into them, to find ways to compensate for them, and to change what requires change. Classic example is a man. Hello, Samuel. Hi. I am on one device only. I do see notification that you are typing on the other page. Believe me, when I finish, I park the car, I will go onto that page, read it, and respond. But I do feel you. I do dig you. Thank you so much. This person has had a broken relationship. Let's start from the typical man. The typical man has been told that he is the head of the family, that a woman is supposed to serve him. A woman is supposed to meet his need. He hasn't even sat down to think and unpick this belief, because everybody in his family and everybody in his village does things this particular way. They all marry when they want to cook. They all marry when they want to have a cleaner. They marry not necessarily because they are after companionship, because what they believe is marriage is completely different from what most people believe marriage is right now. So this guy, he does his thing. He finds somebody, he talks to you about being partners with you, about loving you, blah, blah, blah. And this person believes they are on the same page and comes on a ride with you. But during that ride, this other person realizes that you are not treating them as an equal partner. They realize that you are taking them for a free cook. They realize that when they cook for you, that thank you doesn't come because in your head, it is the person's job. When there is something to be considered, you consult your sisters, your mother, your friend, anybody, the dogs in the community, everybody and anything, except the person you profess to love and to want to live your life with long term. Obviously, this person will try and tolerate you, accommodate you for a while, but over a long period of time, a person will realize that it's a waste of their time, that you will never actually come around to their way of seeing things. It becomes too difficult to try and compensate and allow for you. So this person elects to move and leaves you in the lurch. It's a surprise. You call them a few names and then you actually need to sit down and reflect. Why has this person made this decision? And if you are lucky enough and you call them and you ask them about it, they might be gracious enough to tell you exactly what happened. Alithia, good morning. I hope you are well. If you are lucky, the person might be gracious enough to tell you exactly what caused the change of mind. And if that kind of person is who you want to interact with, then the next thing to do is to start reflecting on your beliefs, reflecting on the way you expect things, the way you want things, to actually work out what the problem was, and then you begin to act on it. The first thing to do is to reflect, to introvert, to look inside you, to find what the problem was, pinpoint the problem. That's the first stage in any mindset change. You need to know that your current mindset no longer works. Your mindset is not fit for purpose. Your mindset will not get you where you want to be. You need to come to that understanding for sure. Once you've realized that the problem is actually with your mindset, so in this example, it was from personal experiences that you realized that your mindset was not fit for purpose. Sometimes it might be feedback that other people you interact with will give you. A person will break up with you, or a person will change their mind about you, and they might go all out and tell you the reasons why they have. And if they do, they are actually gifting you information freely to be able to use to change and prevent that from happening another time. You reflect and you work out what the problem is. Or sometimes you might listen to somebody's speech, and that somebody will cause you to realize. So yesterday I put out a video. My video was about how we interact with parents. I wanted people to reflect on how they deal with their living parents. I wanted to pick up the reasons why most of us feel compelled to have lavish funerals. When you've actually treated the living right, there is absolutely very little need. Hello, Sister Harriet. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you. There's very little need for you to perform at your funeral. There is no need to buy a hammer to put the corpse in because you allowed the person to sit in a Camry. There is no desperation to try and do certain things. Sister Rebecca, good morning. Morning, everybody. It's good to see you. There is no need, absolutely no need for you to do certain things when you've done what you should do in other places. So I put that video out about celebrating the living, taking care of parents. Pato Banting, morning, Pato, let's talk. Oh, please, let's talk. I need to finish something for you, and you and I know what that is. So please, let's talk and let's get to know. When I finished that video yesterday, I got so many text messages and phone calls and audio notes. It was really on point. Because that's a conversation which is long overdue in our community. We should have had that conversation. I've been having it for a while. But obviously, every now and again, new people come across me. They may not have seen the previous one. But even if you see the previous one, when you hear a replay of the message, it brings the message home in a different way for some people. So from that conversation yesterday, a lot of people realized that they needed to change how they relate with their parents. Their mindset towards their parents needs shifting. They have to change how they interact with their parents. So that is the realization point. Realization. Some people will realize it. Some people will cry. They will regret, but they will do nothing about it. Those people cannot change. Sister Eve, hello. It's good to see you. Those people can't change. They won't change. They would revert back to the same old. And in another occasion, when I have another video, they will regret it all over again. They will cry yet again. They will feel really sorry and bad about things. And then you will start the cycle again. The people who really can't change, the ones who are likely to be able to change, the ones who are likely to benefit the most from that video I made, are the ones who will move on to stage 2 in this process. Stage 2 is for you to actually, after introspection, also think about what you can do to change what it is that needs changing. Let me give you an example. Again, with the parental issue. You know that you only speak to your parents end of the month when you send them your monthly contributions. You know very well that your parents are elderly. You know very well that your parents need company. You know very well that your parents love you. They depend on you for social engagement as well. But you ignore them the whole month and you only send them a check. Because in your mind, sending checks to your parents is more than enough. You are taking care of them. Then Amma comes and has a video and tells you sending them money is really nice of you, but that's inadequate. I have actually created that conflict. When the conflict is created in your head, you need to go and explore. So Amma says the sending money to them alone is inadequate. What exactly is adequate? What does a person need to do in order for their parents to feel valued? You may brainstorm personally. You may even call your parents to ask them. You might call your friends to ask them. You might watch other speakers and listen to them. You might read books. These are all ways of researching, seeking what to do to change the problem, to fix the problem, to address the need. That is stage 2. So in stage 2, you might find that phone calls to parents are actually good. That old people still have their mouths intact. A lot of them still have their intellect intact. They are capable of holding conversations with you. Yes, the conversations might not be the same crisp conversations you want. But if you are gracious a little bit to them, they will enjoy those non-crisp conversations. And it could be life transformational for them. So now you know that you can call your parents. You do know what to do. That's only stage 2. Now you know that you can send text messages to the boy who lives with your parents so they can show it to your parents. You know that somebody can set WhatsApp for them. My mom doesn't know how to use WhatsApp. I have tried everything for 5 years. She just won't learn. She doesn't see the need. So I will send audio notes and somebody in the house would let her listen. It's fine. She still accesses what I send. I will put videos on Facebook and the network of people around her will allow her to see the video. And she knows what's going on. She is accessing, she's engaging, I'm facilitating access, contact. I might do pictures and post pictures, physical pictures to her every now and again. Because my mom is like that, she likes to see pictures. Or, better still, I can send those pictures electronically and have somebody print it out for her. Or show it to her electronically. Somebody downloads it on Facebook for her. Downloads it from WhatsApp for her. And she's got it. And she can start looking at them. She can start drooling over them. She can start giggling over them. She will feel loved. She is connecting with me somewhat. It might be that I will speak to somebody who says that I do something nice or something significant for my mom once a year at Christmas. So this friend of mine always sends money once a year with a present. And that present is usually something significant. I have another friend who sends something every month because her mom doesn't need a lot of money. So it will be earrings one month, it will be necklaces the other month, it may be a phone another month, but there is that constant culture of gifting. See, now I know quite a few different ways I could express myself, and I could let my mom know that I think about her constantly. Stephen, you are welcome. Good morning. These are all different ways that I could do things, but some of these things are so not me. Some of these things are so infeasible for me. The next stage, having considered and researched and find things out, is to actually strategize what will work and what will not work. What I am willing to try and what I think is a step too far from my comfort zone. What I have the means to support. I would like to send my mom a phone every month. I just haven't got the means to do so. I would like to buy my mom a Rolls Royce like a friend did recently. Can't afford it. It's out of my range. So yeah, somebody's love language, not necessarily mine and not necessarily one that I can learn to speak in my circumstances right now. So I go through these, I action plan, and I identify the things I can and cannot do. The things things that will be me to try, the things that I will not even try, and the things that I must do. Making a phone call home is an absolute must. I might strategize and do it once a month, but I would realize once a month is not enough, so I could do it once a week. It's Barbara, good morning. It's good to see you. I might do it once a week, eventually even transitioning to do it twice a week. Then I'm actually establishing a communication channel between me and my mom. See, I am changing the way I engage with my mom. I am changing my mindset about how I interact with my mom. I am changing from an occasional benevolent child to one who actually doesn't have a working relationship with the parents. I am changing my mindset. I am changing what was done for my village. In my village, you wander off. If for the whole month your mom doesn't see you, your mom doesn't hear you, well, we didn't know about phones. If there was somebody from your village going back, you would send them a message. Your son says to greet you for him. He says he misses you. Here is a certain amount of money. Mom is happy. That's how things were done in my village. So from that, our mindset is benevolence. We just want to gift. And once we've gifted something to somebody, we think that that's a relationship. That's a mindset. And if you have that kind of mindset, it will also spill over into the way you interact with your wives, your kids, your friends. Because in your head, relationships are built on physical gifts. So you might not speak to your wife the whole day, and you will bring her a bracelet and you think that's okay. You may not even chat to her for a month, and you will give her some money and you are patting yourself on the back and think you're doing really well. No, you're not. But that's your mentality, your mindset from where you're from. You don't even realize that that is a deficit in interactions at the moment in the 21st century. It might take somebody else highlighting it for you to help you realize. And once you realize this, you act on it by making small, slight changes. So you do. You are well on your journey. So now you've worked out that your mindset needs changing. You've researched and found exactly what needs changing in your mindset. You go off and you look for practical ways of actually achieving what needs to be done. Sister Sylvia, good morning. It's so good to see you, and thank you. I saw that you have done something on my thing. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I can't tell you how grateful I am to you. But please, can you send me your WhatsApp number? The way you do it, I want to talk to you about another option. Please send me a WhatsApp number and let's chat. Just put your WhatsApp number, send it as a DM to my inbox. And when I have a little time, I will import it into WhatsApp and we start talking. So now you've worked through strategies, you've identified those strategies, you know what to do, and you begin to implement. You are in the implementation stage. In the implementation stage, you need to understand the mindset augmentation is an action research. Matilda, good morning. It's an action research. You will have to identify a problem, look for strategies, try it, evaluate it. Cycle 1. Take lessons from the first cycle, identify the next set of things to do. You go off, you do them, you collect data, you evaluate it. Cycle 2. And you will have to be going through that cycle repeatedly and improving over time. That's the model of an action research, and that's what mindset augmentation really is. Matilda, for example, and I, we do Juice Plus. Why do we do Juice Plus? your way of doing things, then it's like that you might be able to do this and sustain this, and cause the change long term that you are after. We are talking through mindset augmentation processes with practical examples. So I've worked out this juice plus, I've got the products, I've started doing it. I need an implementation strategy. So my implementation strategy is every morning on my way to work now, I will take my left right juice plus. One of the reasons why I drink the left is because, as the name suggests, in the morning on my way to work, I do need a lift. I usually got my lift from coffee. I now realize coffee, raw coffee, might not be the best thing for me, but I still need a lift. So I am looking for ways of lifting myself to suit my new lifestyle change that I am undergoing. My friend X, who drinks coffee early in the morning, gets a lift, but from what I want to do, drinking her coffee every morning is not working for me. It does not fit the changes that I want to make. So I do need to change certain things even more for me. So those things are getting changed. Wonderful, right? Once I'm drinking my lift, the next thing that needs to go in is my omega blend. Most people don't drink it at 6:13 in the morning, but I do because I'm awake at 6:13. I want to eat first thing in the morning. People might not drink the lift during the morning. Some people take it late in the afternoon because they do need a lift in the afternoon. I'm usually fine in the afternoon the minute I wake up. It's this morning time, getting up, getting psyched up, driving through this darkness to work. That's my challenge. So I need to personalize things. I need to make things fit with my situation. I need to make things change slightly, adapt to suit my schedule, and that's what I am doing. The next stage in your process is something called resilience. Resilience you will need to change your mindset because your brain does not like change. Unbeknown to all of us, the way we are wired is resistive to change. When you become uncomfortable, your brain will always defer back to certain things. Look, you are so hungry. What's the point of this new regime? You are so tired. What's the point? The old way was fine. Yeah, it might have been killing you, but it was fine. You were not this hungry. Why should you even allow yourself to be so hungry when food is readily available in your life? Why? Why? Oh, Amma, you should have a day off. You should rest. Oh my God, you need more rest. Amma, really, you should rest. This nonsense has to stop. Are you the only poor person in this village? Amma, you have to stop. Amma, you have to stop. Your brain is playing games with you because your brain is resistant to change. It doesn't like being made uncomfortable. It understands that in the long run it will be good. It will be beneficial. But the process of going through it is unpleasant. And so your own brain, your own internal systems will be on. It will complain. But you need to know this so you will find that little section of your brain which overrides irrational part of my brain speaking. Thankfully, the other side of my brain, the one which is in control of my purse, the one who knows that I do need an income, will have that same conversation with the other side of self and go, come on girl, stop being an idiot. You like getting paid, right? Yes! I like getting paid, but I don't like getting up in the morning. Well, tough girl, tough. You want the money, this is how you get it. Michael, hold my glass at this point. No way. It is actually, in fact, a bit misty. Temperature outside. It's a bit cooler than usual. This is our winter period. This is our idea of winter. So that battle between the two sides of my brain is when most of us give up on things. When we find our own arguments, when our internal demons convince us that the way we've always done it is fine. My mom married my dad successfully for 50 years. How dare you suggest? Oh no, my brother, the windows are all up. If I had my windows down on this highway, tearing it at this speed, you would not hear anything I said. Believe me, and thank you, Michael, for sharing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. Anytime you find yourself in conflict, you have to remind yourself that there is a side of you and it's there. There is no point denying it, it is there. There is a side of you who is like a child, your irrational side. It's got many names depending on the person's interest and agenda. I like to call it my irrational side because it makes it easy for me to handle it. This side is my childish side, my tantrum side, my comfort-seeking side. It requires pleasure, doesn't like to work hard. It's my excuse maker. It is my enemy of progress. So I also need to develop my progressive side, my adult side, my reasonable side, to start thinking things through and to come to arguments which it can use to override my irrational side. Come on, Amma, we can do this. My irrational side says, who says you can do it? You can't do it, you can't do it, you're too hungry. I never killed it. Come on, kid. Okay, fine, listen. We'll take a little bit of food. Not a lot. On this occasion, on this program, I have not even starved myself at all. But I'm being a little bit more careful in what I select to eat. And also in using diet and nutrition to support what I do. So now I am not starving. The irrational side is not screaming and yelling in my ear as I would have expected by now. Because I am actually living this experience and I am doing it daily, it's actually after 3 months become a habit. Now even my irrational side has accepted that this is how it's going to be. It has given me all the arguments for me to change my mind, and I haven't, so it's come to an understanding. This is it. This is it, kid. This is it. No, kid, you don't get to change much. Yes, kid. You have to get used to it, and it's beginning to get used to it. It's a habit. It develops over a period of reinforcement. A period of refusing to defer back to the status quo. You will need that to change your mindset for sure. You need to find your own affirmations and remind yourself why you are doing things. You need to coach yourself. You need to talk to yourself. And when you find that your internal mechanisms of talking to yourself is no longer working, you seek external reinforcements. So some people might go back to a seminar or go to watch the speaker who triggered the whole process anyway. Or might go to visit Papa Yao. Hello, Baba. I was thinking of you. I wanted to know how you guys are getting on and what you guys are observing. Can you please give me some feedback? I would really appreciate it. So, Papa, I am talking about change management, but I am using my journey on Juice Plus and changing the way I eat and treat food. As an example, I am illustrating things practically so people can see it and you can find examples in your own life to apply it to and to personalize it to. I don't want it to be abstract because I actually do want 2020 to be a year of change. We have to change the way we do things. We need to identify our negative behaviors. We need to challenge those things. We need to research new ways of doing those things, better ways of doing them. Select some of those new ways and personalize them to ourselves so that it becomes something we can act on, becomes something we can achieve, something we can use to change what needs changing. And then eventually it becomes a habit, a routine, one that we simply repeat and live in. I am at that stage with my Juice Plus journey. When I wake up last week, I was not home. I was not on my capsules. And I felt so bereft, really. I could not find, it took me a few days to work out why the changes. I was a bit down, did not have the energy, and then I realized the only thing which was missing from my regime was actually the fact that I did not have the capsules and I was not taking them as religiously as I had come to do for the last 3 months. Since Thursday when I went home and I have been taking the capsules, I am so back to normal. You see, I have actually changed my mindset. My irrational me has now changed its mind to accept the consumption of Juice Plus and their products as my new norm, as what it's happy with. That side of me doesn't want change, so when I changed it to not taking it again, it was in revolt. It was protesting. But see, I have actually taken it, it's still protesting. It is still irrational. But I've managed to take it from protesting and being irrational about certain things. And I have changed exactly what it complains and moans about now to what I wanted to moan and complain about. Now my irrational side is working with me and not against me. It is pushing me to be better. We are now partners in my better health. We are partners in an energized me. It likes how it feels when the energy is in the system, when the nutrients are in place. My nails over this weekend have started breaking yet again. I will need a few weeks back on the program to start seeing my nails grow again. It hadn't been long enough for those changes to the quality of my nails to become permanent yet. So taking those nutrients out returned me to sender. Back to base, breaking as usual. My irrational self has now realized what works and doesn't work for it. So it's not the moment complaining, Amma, look at your nails, Amma. Like, okay, irrational self, what's wrong with my nails? But they are all broken again. I'm like, my nails were always breaking, that's not news. But recently it was not breaking. I'm like, irrational me, yes. But that's because I didn't take Juice Plus. Why didn't you take Juice Plus, Amma? Because it wasn't with me. Okay, go back to taking Juice Plus. So I'm taking Juice Plus. What I've actually done illustrated was the cycle that I wanted to take you. And let me just start recapping. Depending on where you joined the video, I am talking about how to change your own mindset. I want you to understand that nobody Sonia, can you hear me any better? Can I have some feedback? If it's still not good enough, can you let me know so I can fix something around it? So it wasn't the Windows, it was actually the fact that the device was low in volume. But I'm hoping that putting the headphones in does improve things a little bit. Let me know if you are on. Can you hear me? If you can, please let me know so I stop shouting in your ears. Anyway, I'm waiting for feedback, and until I do, we soldier on. Welcome if you've only just joined. I am talking about changing your mindsets, and I'm explaining that the only person who is the architect of change is you. You are the person who does the final authorization on any change which happens in your systems, especially changes that happens to your mind. You will have to sanction them. You will have to allow them. You have to authorize them before they become feasible, possible. In order to be able to lead change management yourself, you need to understand the process of change management. First stage is to identify the need to change. Sometimes it will be identified for you by what happens around you or by other people's reactions to you. And it clearly identifies the fact that there's something about you which needs to change. That's the identification. The second stage after identifying that need to change is to know how to change and what exactly to change. When you've researched and you know what and how to change, you need to start putting those things into practice. You need to identify what works for you. You need to try certain things. Select what you should try again and once never to go to again ever, and have a strategy of implementation. Somewhere in that process, you do need to have a consultation with self and to develop resilience, overcoming your irrational self, placating your childish self, getting your childish self to understand. Nana, good morning, sis. Sis, can you hear me? Is the volume good enough? Or is it still too low? I'm watching what I greet you, my sis. It's really good to see you. So in the mornings for maybe February, we will try it and see. Thank you for those of you who need to go and get my Juice Plus products. Nana is a saint. She's put the website address for you. So it's amamansin.juiceplus.com. Please go check it out. Place your orders and join my transition if you can. What I am doing is providing the model. You take that model, you personalize that model, you select what works for you, and you go with it to change things for yourself. Once you find some resilience is simply learning to override your inner demons. Oh, you can hear me, thank God. Some people couldn't hear, so I put the headphones in, and I wasn't sure whether it had improved things or not. Thank you. God bless you now. So Amma Manson wants to know if Amma Manson can change. Amma Manson found ways of changing the way Amma Manson behaves and relates to food. Amma Manson at the moment only gets what Amma Manson is likely to eat. And Amma Manson selects the things that are nutritious and helpful to me. So that when Amma Manson is starving at night and comes to the fridge, there is little temptation to defer to some of the nonsense that I used to do. I am putting certain mechanisms in, things that help me to develop this new behavior into a habit, so my irrational me is able to defer to this as the new norm and work with me towards change rather than against me. Since I found how to do this, I am actually beginning to change the way I relate with food. I love Ghanaian food, and I still love Ghanaian food. That would not change. But what I am selecting to eat in the Ghanaian food is a little bit more thoughtful. Dear Pene, good morning. It's good to see you guys. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for sharing. And Nana, may God bless you. Bless you for putting things out for me. If you've not read what Nana is writing, Nana is putting out my interest. So she's explaining my parents' club. That's for parents who need a bit of support to understand the system within which your kids operate, to know how to support your kids, to know strategies to help with reading comprehension and stuff like that, and to simply join a community of other parents and listen to people's experiences and apply it. Parents Club. amamansin.juiceplus.com. Adia, good morning. So we chat about coffee. I was asking if you drink coffee because I was going to recommend Lyft. When originally we had the conversation, I wanted you to get started. But now that you've started, you've got a routine, you probably will find that at this stage, after a month, you will need to start putting in some reaffirmations, and Lyft is a good one. It has caffeine. That caffeine kick which wakes you up can now be delivered here in a healthier way. You can add fruits and vegetables. It has guava and lemon peels. So you can at least get some nutrition from your caffeine fix. So if you need a pick-me-up, let me know so I help you. I tell you where to find it and you start trying it. I drink it warm, but I know somebody who makes it and chills it and drinks it as her replacement juice. So that's fine. I stopped taking juice a long time ago, so I don't need juice. I just need coffee. So I take it in the morning where out of taking my coffee, and my change management is well on the way. We are talking about change. We are talking about the most important change, which is a change in your mindset. A change in your attitude. A change in the way you perceive and do things. Those things can only be changed if you authorize it. Other people might trigger the process. Other people might lead you to explore the need to change. Other people might advise you to change, but nobody else can change you except you. Only you can authorize the final one. Only you can achieve the final one. Only you can do it in a sustainable way. And that's what I wanted to highlight today. Stop looking for other people to cause change. Listening to Les Brown is wonderful, but Les Brown is only a trigger. Amma Manson talking to you about treating your parents right is only a trigger. Amma Manson will not be able to call your parents on a weekly basis. That is for you to do. Throwing money at your parents and not actually engaging with them and thinking that you're doing right by them. You've been doing it for such a long time because you think it's normal. Everybody in your village does the same thing. It takes somebody like me putting out a video, challenging you, telling you what happens if you get it wrong, to make you realize that you need to change. And I was delighted yesterday by some of the conversations that I got from people. People got me yesterday. I've done that video before and it's connected with people before, but yesterday did connect more effectively with more new people. So some of you from yesterday need to start moving on this journey. Mother, good morning. Good morning, Sister Janet. You need to commence this journey of change. You need to understand what AMA means by better engagement with parents, treating them better, interacting with them more, doing everything you can with them and for them so that you don't regret upon their exit. I need to ask a sister of mine permission to share her audio with you. If I could share her audio with you, those of you who need to change the way you interact with your parents will not need any more convincing. The pain in your gut when you get it wrong and the parent dies. When there is no other way to do retribution, when it is too late. When that person is gone and gone for good and there's nothing you can do to change or to correct your mistakes. That is awful guilt to live with. So when you've heard from people who've made the mistake, people who are living with the regrets, it is much, much easier for you to convince yourself to change. I felt I did everything I could with my dad. But even I know that there is still room for improvement. So I am trying so hard to improve that with my mom. I'm trying to do better for her. I am paying her tribute while she's here. I don't want to have to come and explain to you lot how much I loved my mom. When you begin to talk a lot, it suggests that there might be a deficit. The way I loved my dad. My dad and I, we were like this. Usually, if you actually like this with somebody, all you need to say is, I loved my dad to the moon and back. And anybody who knew me and my dad and how we interacted would be in no doubt about how I felt about that man. Anybody who spoke to my dad, when my dad spoke about me, was also in no doubt that we had actually managed to connect with each other. There's always that feeling at the back of my head, Amma, you could have done more. But you know what? When I get time to ponder, when I challenge that thought, I actually realize, yes, there's always room to maneuver. But my regrets are not many. My regrets are not many. I'm hoping that those sort of videos when we put out, those sort of messages we put out are just triggers. They start a thought process in your head. They make you realize what you need to change. No, not what Amma needs to change for you. Amma is struggling to even change for Amma. She cannot change for you. You will have to do that part yourself. No one else can do it for you. Only you can do it for you. And you can only do it for you if you have the will to do so. If you learn the mechanisms towards resilience so you can sustain that desire. If you learn how to execute the process and to find your positive reaffirmations constantly, that you understand your irrational self and the arguments it's likely to present, and you seek counter arguments for the irrational self so that the irrational self no longer has a viable argument, then you are beginning to become resilient. You are winning this battle. It's a battle of words, battle of the minds. I do hope that when I start these videos, that people don't just watch them for entertainment, because they are not for entertainment. This kind of video is supposed to make you quite pensive. It should make you thoughtful. In that thought process, there might be feelings of regret, of inadequacies. You have to learn to forgive yourself on the occasions when you've not got it right. Because none of us has got everything right. None of us. None of us. We all make mistakes, sometimes even with the best of intentions. Sometimes we mean things in a good way, but it's so easy to misconstrue. And sometimes we are just plain simply mean, because it's human nature to be plain simply mean by default. And when you find that you are operating at basal instinct and you are plain simple mean, you have to go somewhere, reflect on it, realize that that is not the kind of engagement you want to have with people in life. And then then you act on it, then you address it and change. Change starts with you. Change ends with you. Other people might help you get started. Other people might be your cheerleaders, but nobody can do it for you. There is no quick fix with change. Understand that. If it sounds like a quick fix, it is not fit for purpose. It is not fit for purpose. Because you will need to sustain, and quick fixes are nearly impossible to sustain. I am learning on this journey. Oh, Papa Barnes, you are too kind, too kind. God bless you. I am so grateful. You know, when you learn, it's good to share. It's really good to share. I am still learning, but I'm hoping that whilst I share as I learn, we can all learn together and we can all change together. We can all improve together. I don't know exactly where you are from, but for me, my basal instincts are actually not fit for the 21st century. It's not. When you change your thinking, you change your life. Thank you for that. Thank you. You cannot change your life without changing this. As long as this remains the same, your outcomes will never change. As long as changing your mindset is lip service, then your achievements will always also be lip service. If you really do want to see change, you have to start it from your mind. You can only change that mind if you know that only you can change it. And you go seeking ways to change it. You look for practical support towards change. Change is uncomfortable. Change can be downright unpleasant. Change can be tough and difficult. Many, many times you will have to reinforce. So I've changed from a school which was 5 minutes down my house, but unhealthy for my mental well-being. So those of you who watched me when I first came to Facebook in 2018, doing these live videos, I was in a public school. I used to do a few broadcasts. You would find most of those videos on the announcer newspaper because I actually did them from the announcer. However, what I discovered was that being 5 minutes from my house, as good as it was not healthy for me. I needed something healthier. And I have actually found a very healthy working space, found a very healthy school, a place where I can balance my demons and balance the things that I am good at more effectively. But that process of change required a lot of discomfort. Resigning from that place and going through the process until I found this place. Not accepting to go to just any school, because I knew that I had to be very careful in the next place I selected. My criteria involved well-being. My criteria was not revolving around just remuneration and pay packages. There was more to it for me. I had to go through a process of being very broke, whilst I was being incredibly selective in where I did and didn't want to work. And when I was very broke, I lost all my friends, had no friends. But you know what? Those friends were not worth keeping. Those people were excess luggage. They were excess baggage I needed to shed anyway. And it wasn't until I changed that mindset to expect better for my mental health. Mental health over wealth was definitely a change in my mindset, the way I had been wired. The way I had been wired, the way I had experienced life was about getting money in anyway. getting money in any way possible. But if there was a choice between getting money in, then getting money in was the only choice. My well-being and mental health was not a priority. The way people treated me whilst I earned the salary was never a priority. But I realized that going forward, long term, for sustainability, I needed to change that mentality. I did need to change. So I went on a program of change. And have I cried on that program? Have I lamented on that program? Have I moaned and complained on that program? Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And yes, I have again. But by learning the process, by understanding that discomfort is part of the process, by learning to have arguments to overcome my unreasonable side, justifying the long-term benefits are definitely worth the current discomfort, and helping my other side to see the long-term goal has really helped me change things. And I can definitely tell you that at the moment I go to bed a lot easier than I did before. I drive 1.5 hours to go to work, but I drive in very happy. I walk into a place where I am very much appreciated, and it is great. And here you are in danger of making me very emotional. March the 17th will be 3 years since his passing. You would have thought that 3 years would be long enough that I shouldn't be emotional anymore. I actually go through phases when I am not even emotional. I go through phases when I am rational, but in the build-up to the anniversary of his death, oh, I am useless. I crumble, and I did not understand. But I've had to go back and have a look at the cycle of grief. And since my latest revisit of the cycle of grief, I have come to know that I'm just being human. In my video yesterday, I had a few tears in my eyes because I did. Yes, I was talking about my mom, but I was definitely reflecting on my dad. The things that I can't do for my mom are things that I can never ever do again for my dad. And that was so final. I think that is what is the most upsetting part of the whole thing. Fatma, good morning. Good morning. I am back in, driving stupid amounts to get to work. But I was explaining what I have done in my life and what it has changed in my life. For 4 months now, I drive past that old school every morning to come to this new one. Every time I drive past that old school, I still have about an hour and 25 minutes of drive time before I arrive at work. I have been waiting for 4 months for my irrational self to one day, just one day, tell me, Amma, see, if you stayed at this job, you would not have to drive 1 hour, 25 more minutes before you get to work. But not even once have I had that thought, because my irrational self has come through on a journey and it's come to accept certain things as better for me. The extra drive time is worth every minute of being at work in a place where you are valued more, at a place where you feel treated professionally, at a place where you can see that if you wanted to, that you could grow. Love it. But it's been a mindset change, a radical mindset change. Valuing my mental well-being over a pay package. Alien concept to me. I have always been raised that the paycheck was important, because the paycheck is important. I have always observed in my interactions with other people that the paycheck was the absolute priority. And for that reason, I have mimicked it and paid it such importance in my life, that when the paycheck was coming at the expense of my mental well-being, it was difficult for me to engage. Nana, thank you for sharing, and thank you so much for all you do on the videos. You have no idea how I appreciate what you do. Well, I hope that when I articulate it, I am able to communicate the depth of my feelings somewhat, so you know. Good morning, Fatma. Yes, I'm so sorry, sis. We need to work out what it is. Why is it that I've become so difficult to find? There was a period where people reported that it seemed to have been fixed, and then suddenly we are back to that. Yes, a lot of people are reporting the same thing. They can't find me, but I am live most of the time. I will actually take my time and explain. So now in the mornings, I'm going to started from today, in fact. The morning broadcast will be done on my Transformations Inc. page, because the message is actually more suited to that page. It's about change. Today we are talking mindset augmentation, so that's when I've targeted to that place. Should be easier for people who know the content of that page to access it. Obviously, I shoot it out to the Amamansin page as well, but the actual hosts of the broadcast, the morning broadcast, is going to be from the Transformations page. So if you've not followed that page, please look for it. The short name is @Absolute Change, or the full name is Transformations Inc. I know, when I started that, I didn't even know Jenna had a Transformations group. If I knew that there was an established Transformation something, I would not have even bothered. I'd have taken a different name. Ekuya, good morning, sis. It's been a while. I hope you are well. By the time I found out Jenna had a Transformations page, I already had my Transformations Inc. page set up. And I'm still contemplating whether to change the name or to keep it. We'll see. But in talking through my process, in talking through my struggles, I hope those of you who needed to understand what you need to do to change your mindsets do understand it. I hope those of you who've come to that understanding also realize that that change will have to be led by you. It would only be authorized by you. Nobody else can do it for you. We may stimulate you, we may cheerlead you, we may support you, we might be positive reaffirmations, reinforcements, but that journey is a solo journey. Only you have to go on that journey. We can help you by keeping you on track, but that's about it. What do you need to change in your life? So I've talked to you about two things in my psyche, my mindsets that needed to change. Number one was my relationship with food. Food was such a central part of my life, and I hadn't even come to understand this. No, I never really classed myself as obsessive compulsive when it came to food, but I love eating. I eat a fair amount of it. But then I had to sit down and evaluate and realize that when I am happy, I eat. When I'm sad, I eat. When I'm annoyed, I eat. When I am grateful, I eat. I eat. And I eat a lot of it. I wanted to appreciate Ghanaian food, so I ate. And I ate, and I ate, and I ate. And the choices that I was making were irresponsible. But I continued to eat. And eventually, my body started throwing me signals that it was not happy. It needs something to change. Amma needed to change the way my mind worked around food. My mindset around food had to change. food should be eaten for healing. That was the big statement. That's the headline statement for me. Food should lead to healing. Food should not cause disease. And since I understood that I eat to heal, I am choosing better because the rationale has changed. No, I am not just eating for enjoyment of the palate. I am eating what heals my body. The taste of food is secondary to its nutritional value. Huge mindset change. Huge mindset change. And that's the reason why I am able to drink vegetable smoothies. Healing over taste is a big mental shift for me. But now that I have got that in here, healing over taste. Healing above taste. Nutrition for health. Nutrition for health. Not just enjoyment. Is what I have done here, which is allowing me to go through the program I am, which is allowing me to see the changes and the benefits that I am. It starts from here. It has to start from here. The second big one has been transitioning from how my mindset around income and wealth acquisition vis-a-vis happiness and well-being. My mindset was always income over enjoyment, because income was king. Income was the most important thing. So even if somebody disrespected me and paid a good wage, I would tolerate them. I would tolerate them. I did not fully consider the psychological impact that can have on you, and the stress and frustration that can bring to you, and how that stress and long-term frustration might impact on your lifestyle and your health. But when I did realize, I made sure that I changed the way I see income versus happiness. And I've come to know that happiness and well-being, satisfaction is king in my head at the moment. You may pay the world's greatest wage, but if you are not taking care of my mental health and my needs, I will never work for you. I will not even work with you. I have come to know that a person can actually have demands, and when you have demands, it will be met. It will be met. I am living proof that I work for who I work for, but I still maintain so many things independent of who I work for. And when I tell people that I am still somebody who turns up to work, but still has autonomy on so many things, I have negotiated my ideal working relationship where I am not dependent on the employer for residence. I am actually semi-self-employed in this role. It gives me a lot of autonomy. It gives me a lot of independence. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. It was such a scary journey. Of course it was scary. It took me through episodes of being so broke. But that was all part of the process. That was all part of the process. But when you are able to see that process through, when you come to the end of a cycle, the reward is indescribable. The reward is phenomenal. And I am so benefiting from it. I am so glad and so lucky that I went on the journey to change this critical thing. Eventually, I will be able to look at work, balance it with lifestyle, and understand that sometimes I am not the only broke person on this planet. That sometimes I don't have to be the hardest working person on this planet. That sometimes I am allowed to elect to be lazy It's okay to allow a paycheck to go. I only have a small little stomach. Don't need to hang on to so much. Don't need to accrue so much. Huge mental shift. Huge mental shift. I promised myself a while back that at the end of the year 2020, whatever property I have not acquired, I will no longer chase. That whatever I have not started, which is a radical effort, I will not start. That I will maintain what I already have, and I will develop what I have already started. I will finish the races that I have entered. But I will not pursue things aggressively the way I always have. That at the end of the year 2020, my foot is beginning to ease on the pedal of life. Huge mental shift again. Because again, mentally, I have only ever seen success as something which happens when my foot is fully engaged on the pedal, when I am pushing, when I am achieving, when I am breaking new ground. Big shift from that mentality. Amma has never rested because Amma had so many things to chase and to achieve. At the end of 2020, I am pushing it still during 2020, just as I promised myself I will. But even during 2020, I am being more strategic in the way I do things. Enjoyment has received precedence in my life for the very first time. Enjoyment, electing to enjoy at the expense of a paycheck. Big shift in mentality for me. Electing to rest when my foot could have been on the pedal. I am still working on that one. My basal instinct is to gun it down. But I am teaching myself to pause. Teaching myself to let it go. Teaching myself to let it be. I don't need to achieve it all. I don't need to do it all. What has been achieved and what has been done is enough. Huge mental change. Huge change. Those of you who know me will probably faint hearing those words out of my mouth. Even I want to faint. Because it's so alien. But it just did come out of my mouth. It just did. Because I have been on a journey of change. I have taken myself on this journey to augment my mindset, to rewire myself, to reprogram my thinking so that I can balance some things better, so that I can allow this body to rest, so that I can take care of certain things. God be my helper. Those things would not have been possible if I still had the old mindset. That old mindset would have had me do the same old things. And the same old things would have achieved the same old results. It will not change anything else. To do the same and expect different results is the epitome of madness. We need to start thinking. We need to look for places where mindset augmentation might be needed. We need to discover places where we have inadequacies in the way we engage with life. And when you find those places, be brave enough to go on a journey to augment. Be willing to take the risk to change. Because when you do get it right, the rewards are immense. Don't be so afraid to fail that you never try. Don't be so afraid to try because results are not guaranteed. It is okay. It is okay to prioritize different things at different stages of your life. Let me run through the stages again. Stage number 1 is that realization that you need to change. And that realization might come from just watching a video like this, or a conversation with somebody, or it might be a person divorcing you or breaking up with you, a person refusing to answer your phone call, whatever the reason is. But that is just your trigger. When I roll into this place, after 1.5 hours on the road, the smile on my face is so sincere. The love in my heart is indescribable. The satisfaction I feel, oh my word. And all this possible only because that Amma wanted to change the way I engaged. Amma wanted to be treated right, regardless of a paycheck. And you know what is funny? It's a very funny circle. But eventually, when I did find the job where people treat me the way I expect and demand, contrary to what the stupid Amma was thinking, actually the pay package is even better than what I left. Unbelievable, but very true. This is 100% what has happened to me. So in not being afraid to lose a paycheck, I have actually gained a better paycheck. Take risks. Please make sure that those risks are calculated. Don't go taking irresponsible risks just because we've said you should take risks. Make sure your risks are managed. You can only manage risk when you calculate. You will need to strategize and know what needs to be done, what is important and isn't important, in order to achieve the mindset shift that you need. Seek other people who might be able to cheerlead you or guide you or coach you. It makes life so much easier. Oh, Adia. My dad had a smile on his face. The world was entertaining to my dad. And as a kid, I never really understood what that smile meant. But that smile actually was a smile of I've seen it. I've done it. And then I've chosen what I'm going to do. I've made some choices. And damn the consequences. When you get to that point in life, you can have this stupid smile on your face. A little difficult for other people to understand and engage with. But I definitely dig it. I know that I have come to the right place even when I have driven for 1.5 hours to get here. I know that I have made the right choices even though it is a little bit inconvenient to get those choices executed. The satisfaction is worth the process in the end. And that's a very good point to end this one. What you gain justifies the means. The end justifies the means. So please look at the means. Find out what means will get you where you need to be. And may God grant you the bravado. May God grant you the resilience. May God grant you the support to get it there. Well, I'm trying to be wise, Adia. I am thinking, I am reflecting, but it is all gratitude I feel in my heart at the moment. So yeah, that's where the calmness comes from. I am very grateful, very fulfilled, and that is a huge thing for a human being to say. Fulfilled. I feel very blessed that you guys will stay with me and you will let me rant, even on this odd platform. That I make the changes and you just respond and you come and you share. And I am so grateful, so grateful. God bless you. Have a fabulous day, everybody. May you have time to reflect on the message. And if you know anybody who should also hear that message and reflect on it, please gift it to them. Catch you soon. Reflection. Reflection, adieu. Reflection. This afternoon on my way back, I would be on the Amamansin page. I'm still trying to work out what would be the best thing. I want to speak to you parents more on I Need Science. I'll try and find time during the day to do it with you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Thank you so much. I will put out information on what I would do when, but definitely the morning is for transformations. And we'll see what we do with the afternoon. Let's decide that together when the afternoon comes. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.